This month, we're talking about the power of word of mouth. Now, I happened to be going through my 2016 figures last weekend, and to my amazement, I found that 92% of my business came from word of mouth referrals. Now, I'm not blowing my own trumpet, but that figure even took me by surprise. And then it got me thinking, why was it so high? I was discussing it with Sarah, a previous client and marketing expert. He said, well, look, there are three things that people value most: trust, communication, and above all, knowledge that you will do what you say you're going to do. You have all of those nailed. Well, of course, I blushed at the compliment while secretly high-fiving myself under the table. But look, joking aside, she is spot on with those three things. I believe they should be sacrosanct, no matter what business you're in. Absolutely demonstrates that you care and have the needs of your client at the forefront of everything you do. I can bet you think of a dozen times when you've been let down in all those areas: the builders who go AWOL halfway through a project, the colleague who never responds to an email, customer services who say they'll call you back and then never do. And what do you do when you're looking for a top-notch restaurant or need to find a good tradesman for a job? You ask the people you know for help. As a result, you're more likely to use that trade or service that has been recommended to you by a trusted source. Lower risk, no hassle. Makes sense. The power of these three things were demonstrated very clearly in a recent case of a client of mine who was trying to sell her home. Before I became involved, she'd promised a top service marketing package by her previous agent. Through rose-tinted spectacles, she envisaged a world in which her house was being fought over by a queue of adoring buyers. The first 6 weeks, they went really well, lots of viewings, the agent did a solid job of keeping in touch, but when it hadn't sold after 8 weeks, it was as though the agent had vanished into thin air. So suddenly, she was the one chasing with the phone calls and the emails, and it made her feel like a nuisance. Thankfully, a friend of hers recommended me, and we quickly got to grips with the situation, upgrading photography, overhauling the whole brochure, marketing strategy, online entries, viewing arrangements, etc. And we relaunched the property with renewed vigour. The agent, delighted to have some additional ideas from a property consultant who has 15 years of experience, plus an increase in client contact. As a result, in 5 weeks of the relaunch, we've secured the buyer. Clients obviously delighted, agent back on the right terms with refreshed enthusiasm, and myself keeping a proactive check on progress. However, the underlying problem lies where everything had gone amiss previously. The client told her friend, who mentioned it to another on Facebook, who then shared a post about it. Like a virus, the bad experience had been disseminated across hundreds of people within minutes. Whilst the end result was good, the damage had already been done. As I see it, one should never lose sight of the power of word of mouth, whether you're in business yourself or a client looking for a good product or service. A good reputation can take years to earn, but only a moment to lose.